You are now listening to Mike's Opinion, Logic Unleashed.
Yeah. That's right. You are now listening and watching the Mike's Opinion podcast. I'm shaking my head. First of all, I'm usually high energy. I'm tired. I was going to take this week off, but I wanted to chime in. There's so much that's been covered about this already. I wanted to talk about it, but first I need to know. I always want to know how you doing. How are you doing? Summer's almost, coming to a close. Kids down here in Texas back in school, and it won't be too long for the weather changes. Holiday season will be upon us, and we'll be talking about how cold it is, or how much snow it is, how much rain it is, how much ice it is. Normal stuff. Some other normal stuff that happens. I'm talking about Saturday, August 5th, 2023, this year, in Montgomery, Alabama. I've watched, I stay abreast of stuff, news, stuff that's happening. I like to stay informed, even though sometimes it's just exhausting, but I don't let myself get overwhelmed by it. You know what I'm saying? I just get informed. But on occasion, on a lot of occasions, those of you that follow me, and thank you for doing so. But if you're first time, go back and look at the history of this podcast. I haven't been doing video for too long. There's a lot of audio out there. You know I'm a peaceful man, even though I'm from the streets of Harlem and the Bronx, and I live outside of Dallas, Texas now. But every once in a while, it just saddens me, really. Like, when are Earthlings going to grow up? And what I mean by that is, can't we live in peace and harmony with each other? Why is this so impossible? And when I look back historically, the history that I've been taught, the history that's been shared of our planet and humans on this planet, it is a history of violence. Now I realize it's not only violence. There's been creativity and innovation. And I'd like to believe more kindness than hatred. It's just not reported. We don't report kind acts a lot. But there's been so many names about this Montgomery, Alabama Riverfront Brawl. And yes, there were a couple of spots that were undeniably funny. Everybody I've seen, every video, everybody's approaching this from a comical standpoint. And I get it. We can't ever lose our sense of humor. And maybe it's just the mood I'm in, or maybe because I'm tired. I don't know. Maybe I should have just done a best of episode or put up some funny pet videos or something. But I just wanted to chime in on this one and, shout out to Mr. Damian Pickett, who was the riverboat co-captain, I believe, of the boat he was trying to get his boat parked. which is a tourist boat, large tourist boat. And so, in case you missed it, like I said, August 5th, 2023, this year, a Saturday around 7 p.m. in Montgomery, Alabama. The riverfront is a huge tourist attraction. Um, this pontoon boat with some white men on it, some white people. I believe there's a woman or two there, parked in the wrong parking spot. Now, we've all seen land parking spots, handicap parking spots, reserved for takeout, 15-minute parking, the myriad of different signs. Same thing here. And my understanding from the research that I've done is it took 45 minutes. They were trying to get these people to move their boat. Mr. Damian Pickett, who was black, went down there. There's finger pointing, gets a little heated. He's like, look, I'm trying to park my much larger, multiple story riverboat. This is the parking spot for that boat. Please move your boat. Anyway, I understand there was alcohol and inebriation involved with the white pontoon boat people that wouldn't move. Anyway, Mr. Pickett is pointing fingers, please move, please move. He's doing his job. That's his job. He gets attacked by one person, punches him in the face, and then subsequently several other people from the pontoon party pile on. It turns into literally a huge brawl. A young gentleman swam from the tourist boat to help out. Mr. Pickett famously threw his hat, and the posture and the way he threw his hat, it couldn't have been scripted better. It was funny. There were folding chairs involved. For some reason, seeing somebody getting hit with a folding chair appears comical. It's not lost on me. But the reason why this huge brawl and the many memes and things that have happened have probably allowed me to chuckle a lot less. Maybe I'm just too serious. Maybe I've seen too much violence on New York City streets growing up from a very young age. And for those of you that do follow me regularly, and again, like I said, thank you for doing so. Um, I've I'm I'm just not about the violence. I'm about this planet could be so great. I'm like, I want to leave it. I want to go find another planet. I want a utopian planet full of kind, loving, calm, sharing, compassionate, empathetic people. It wouldn't be boring to me. It wouldn't be uninteresting to me. It would be beautiful to me. There's a saying that says, laugh to keep from crying. And I think this is what a lot of people do. They mask their pain and their anger by finding the humor in the situation and they laugh at it. And while nobody died, no knives were pulled, no guns were pulled, and I'm very thankful for that because this could have went way or could have been way worse. I'm glad it didn't get to that. There were injuries, of course, but I'm not trying to be, Dougie Downer. I know a lot of people turn to YouTube, which I'm now on, and listen to podcasts for a myriad of reasons. A lot of it is escapism. But me here at this podcast, I'm not, I try to be entertaining. And I'm trying to be positive and high energy to bring positivity. But this episode really, excuse me, isn't that because I always am true to you. I'm true to me, true to myself. And this is how I feel about this situation. And it's a very popular topic. And I wanted to, give Mike's opinion on this topic. And it just reminded me of the violence. It's just so much violence. You watch the news or what I call the bad news, it's every day. Every day. There are broadcasts of many types. What fight happened? What rape happened? What stabbing happened? What shooting happened? What mass shooting happened? What strangulation happened? What serial killer just got discovered? Like I said, it's nothing new. What's new is our ability to share these horrible happenings quickly. Something can happen on the other side of the planet, and I'll know it within an hour if it's big enough to be reported. Because the media, the news media, you know, some nobody got shot, it probably won't even make the news unless it's captured on video or unless it's a person of note. But this has been going on for millennia. So for me, the question is, what's wrong with human beings? I have never been a violent person. In fact, to me, violence was like it's illogical to me. Now, I am a realist and I'm also from the hood. So, violence was a part of my life as an observer and as a participator. I, will defend myself, my loved ones, my perimeter, my property unapologetically, just like Mr. Damian Pickett did. He was assaulted, he fought back. I've often wondered why this is our nature. Speaking of nature, it happens in nature. Nature can be extraordinarily violent and cruel. There are spiders where they mate and the female kills the male after they mate. That is just in their DNA. You know, the lion, the cheetah, they hunt the gazelle. They got to eat, right? It's a violent act. You have to kill to eat. All the food we eat, plant life included, because plant life is alive, we kill. Of course, the meat and plant life is conveniently killed for us and packaged, waiting for our purchase. Uh, I know you say, "Oh, Mike, why are you going deep? Why you digress?" Y'all know I digress. But it's all connected. I don't know. I think something's in me is changing. I watch my son have these mental shifts. I've been having one. I've been contemplating a lot. But these things have been constant within me. And is it just inherent in anything biological to be violent, to commit murder? I understand it's even done at the cellular, molecular level within our bodies. Some people, I can hear being from the streets, I can hear my hard rocks out there. Yo, you soft, man, you punk. You just mushy with it. Bitch ass. You know what I'm saying? I'm not that. And I don't think, matter of fact, I know just because you choose to care and be kind and compassionate and are anti-violent, don't make you soft. In fact, I think it's the direct opposite. I think it makes you the strongest one. I think it makes you the most intelligent one. Because I think the smarter you are, the more you realize it's just dumb. Why this person? Just take race out of it for a minute, which race in Alabama is ever present and everywhere else. Why this man refused to remove his boat, and after 45 minutes of some people being patient with them, decided to physically attack the man and then his whole crew. I mean, how is that solving any problem? Move your boat. But there's road rage, right? There's people who've been killed over a parking spot. I have on probably two or three occasions been getting ready, waiting for a parking spot, and somebody will whip in there real quick. It's frustrating. I don't want to kill him though. It's not that serious to me. I'll find another parking spot. You might have to go to the bathroom. You might just be a dick. But you want that spot? I don't care. You got there quicker. Go for it. Hooray. You got the spot. A lot of people will go to blows for that. These days, and especially in Texas, everybody carrying a pistol. It's the wild, wild west for real. You might get shot. Um, listen, call me what you want, say what you want. I want utopia. I want peace on earth. Thoughts and prayers to everybody that was at that riverfront brawl and everybody that's laughing at it. And like I said, it was the way my man tossed that hat, people calling it the bat signal. There's been so many memes. It's worth checking out because there for some funny humans out there. There are some really funny people, very creative people. And like I said, the actual incident, the way my man paused and tossed that hat up, it was funny. Watching somebody take a folding chair and clunk somebody. I mean, just it looked funny. So I get it. Like I said, I'm not without humor. But there have been many episodes. I think, I'm 168, 69 episodes in now. I think this is going to be episode 168 or 69. Um, but I've got many episodes. Where's Utopia? Where's the peaceful planet? And I've thought about this. I've given a hypothesis. I've contemplated. I've dived deep into this. Maybe we need that. You got to have a negative and a positive electron to make an atom. Maybe it's just the nature. It's just the nature, and I'm one of the positives. So I'm just wired like that. I'm just a positive. So because I'm a positive, I acknowledge the negative, but I just don't want to be that one. And there's the negative. And boy, or like I said, I grew up in New York and Harlem and the Bronx. So please don't get it twisted. And I survived. I walked down the streets proudly, no problems. And I fought. And I've done other things. I was in the streets. I was outside. Yeah. So I get it. And I know some dudes that's all they like to do. Okay. I know people that's never getting out of prison, killers. And I know people that just love to fight. They just love the rah rah. They love the knuckle up. I just wish it was different. This Montgomery, Alabama Riverfront Brawl just brought that to me again. This was unnecessary. It could have been avoided, and it could have been a lovely Saturday evening on the Alabama Riverfront. Now, I would be remiss as a black man not to see this. I was going to say with racial undertones, but it's not an undertone. If Damian Pickett, that riverboat co-captain who got assaulted, which started this whole melee or brawl, had he been a white man, I think he might have still got attacked because these pontoon dudes were drunk or inebriated, allegedly, is my understanding as it's being reported, and they wasn't moving their boat, and they didn't care who said what. But as a black man, you can't help but know the history of black people in this country, the importance of things that have happened in Alabama, particularly, where that very river and that very area used to be used to transport slaves in what I feel is the not distant enough past. So it's hard to ignore the racial aspect. This is why a lot of black people are applauding and celebrating because, and I've seen even some white people celebrating for black people, especially given the history in the state of Alabama and the history of slavery in the United States. That a black man was attacked by a group of white men, which is a common sentence, a common experience that has happened to countless people, black people. An outcome is not this. So to see the black men be attacked and black people come and rally to his defense successfully, and songs like Try That in My Town, the Jason Aldean song, or whatever the name of the song is, be essentially taken and now owned by black people, you will only understand those celebrations and the feeling if you are a black person. Because very early on, when you start learning in history class, and probably even earlier than that, the history of America, I'm not even going to go into all the feelings that you feel, how it affects the rest of your life. And the stuff that's still going on today. Let's not act like it's over, because it's not. They're just not hanging us from trees as frequently. We violent humans. We violent humans. We're also loving and kind. There's a lot of us out there that want the utopia that I want. But it doesn't seem like it's going that way. This movie Oppenheimer's out. I hadn't seen it yet. But United States, the only country that's ever dropped an atomic bomb. We have all these nuclear weapons that can destroy ourselves and the planet. Guns, guns, guns are literally everywhere. They're about to be, the governor passed a law, and you always say the governor, it's a bunch of politicians, passed a law here in Texas that every school is going to have an armed officer. But at the same time, they allow alcohol delivery, and you don't have to have a permit or anything to carry a gun now. It seems like just a big gumbo of disaster waiting to happen. And they keep adding ingredients to make disaster more and more likely. That's how I'm feeling today. I'm feeling like I want us to be better. But how do you get, what is it? I don't even know, 8 billion people? How do you get 8 billion people to be better simultaneously? There are so many factors involved to mention here today. But in case you missed it, there was a big brawl on the riverfront in Montgomery, Alabama, August the 5th. The video is worth watching. The memes are definitely worth watching. And I wish it never happened. That is Mike's opinion. So laugh if you must to keep from crying. Because it's just a very short matter of time until the next news reel will highlight more violence. I really wish I had the solution. I wish I had the answer. Something that could be so profound, so effective, that it could shut violence down, and we could all just sing "Let There Be Peace on Earth," and the news would go out of business if they don't have no more murders and violent acts to report. Because that violence is what allows them to sell advertising, and is really the violence is their profit machine. What would they do without it? And a bunch of other industries for that. Anyway, that's all I really wanted to say today. That I wish it never happened. And it's worth checking out the news. I hope you're doing all right. I hope you're doing great. In fact, if not, I hope you find a pathway to okay. I'm Mike. This is the Mike's Opinion Podcast. Thank you so much for listening and for watching.
Thank you so much for listening to Mike's Opinion. Logic Unleashed.